seasons, and as you can see, they are ready to go, and so are we. LSU and Texas underway, and right away, a quick bucket on the interior for Grace Knox.
We talk about Michaela Williams and her ability to score. She is an outstanding passer. That was a dart to Grace Knox right on the money there.
Crowd will stand here at Texas until their first bucket. Booker in the mid-range, sure.
You see right away Michaela Williams with the defensive assignment on Madison Booker. Williams is going to have to work hard on both ends here today.
Here is Richard, who has played wonderfully in SEC competition. Williams goes up and down.
Interesting to see that Rory Harmon with the defensive assignment to start this game on Michaela Williams. Gives away some size, but certainly has the quickness to be problematic.
Heard them talking about in the studio. Holly did as well. Harmon not playing in the fourth quarter of that first matchup. Not only was 1 of 7 from the floor, but had just 3 assists to 2 turnovers. A rare ratio like that for Harmon. Booker again! She started to get it going in the fourth quarter, leading Texas on a comeback against LSU, picking up where she left off.
And Vic Schaefer likes the script, his first 3 plays of the game, and you see a heavy dose right now of Madison Booker.
Koval gets free, lays it in. Pick and roll defense was the #1 point of emphasis for Vic Schaefer on what needed to be better tonight against LSU.
And that was the first side. He was primarily concerned with what was happening on the second side, the duck in by the 4 players.
Booker again! Madison Booker 3 for 3 out of the gates.
If I'm scripting and plays for Texas offense, Madison Booker's the strong choice of who to go to.
Richard buries the jumper. How about the shot making and pace in the early going?
This has been so much fun to watch. Both of these teams average a lot of points per game. They have multiple players who can get it done.
And they get Booker another look here. Carlton, who performed very well Sunday against Oklahoma. Here's Lee, 10 to shoot. Harmon trying to wiggle her way into the paint, elevating, and gets the roll.
You heard Holly Rowe talk about Rory Harmon and her struggles from the first matchup. She was 1 for 7 in that game. Great sign for her to see her first one go down.
Neither team has missed. A combined 7 for 7 to start. Living up to the hype. Deep catch. That won't go. Koval got a hand on it, nothing more. Well, Vic Schaefer, 3 wins against AP top 10 teams. Tied for the most in D1. Kim Mulkey's team on a 7-game win streak after an 0-2 start in the SEC. And one of the reasons Vic Schaefer feels like LSU has found this groove is the way they've elevated their physicality. Here's Booker, slicing through, putting it up. Didn't get the roll that time. Cunningham battling, but Knox secures it and then is fouled by Brea Cunningham. Grace Knox, the freshman, who was the #7 recruit according to our rankings heading into this season, has shot it at 61% in SEC play, which is a team best, and 66% from the floor on the season. Such a bouncy, athletic big. Lee comes up with a steal on the inbound. And then Lee travels to give it away.
And one of the things both teams and coaches emphasized was rebounding. And we're seeing everybody boxing out and then turnovers. And until these back-to-back turnovers, it had been a cleanly played game.
8-6, Texas lead, 3 minutes into the first. A lot on the line for these teams with aspirations of a regular season SEC title. They each have 2 losses already. South Carolina with just 1. LSU and South Carolina will play on ABC Saturday night, February 14th. Here's Johnson, Flau'jae, 2 to shoot. Flau'jae gets denied. And .1 on the shot clock for LSU. All they can do is tip.
Texas does such a good job of denying passes. Flau'jae didn't have anywhere to go with it but to attack the basket.
Need to throw it towards the hoop with a tip. You don't have time for that. And so a shot clock violation from LSU.
It's interesting for me to see that Rory Harmon does have that primary defensive assignment on Michaela Williams. That was not the case in the first matchup between these teams, and her quickness has been a problem for Michaela here early.
Here's Booker. Off to Carlton. Lee. Harmon. Good look from the mid-range. Rolls in. Rory Harmon already with more field goals made tonight than she had the entire first meeting against LSU.
And she was that wide open because of a terrific screen by Justice Carlton.
Richard lost her footing. Flau'jae able to pick it up. Here's Johnson firing away. No. And Cunningham the rebound. Harmon with some haste. Pulls up. Couldn't get that one. Cunningham knocks it out of bounds. Last touch Johnson though. And it's going to be Texas ball.
So you see the screen coming from Justice Carlton, pinning down right here. Who do I screen? Just finds someone. Richard runs right into it. But that's the reason Harmon had so much space.
Harmon off the inbound. Trying to find an angle. Could not. Second chance won't go. Koval secures it for LSU. Richard wiggling into the paint. Blocked by Carlton. It'll stay here with LSU.
Richard attacking the basket. She's really good when she gets to her mid-range there. Carlton able to get the block. Looks like a little bit of body as well.
Carlton had 16 points, 8 rebounds, a couple of steals. Sunday in the win against Oklahoma. Also ended up with a ton of cookie orders, thanks to the story that Holly Rowe told, detailing Justice's thriving cookie business. Williams guarded by Harmon again. Williams able to duck in for two.
Tough finish by Williams, and she has terrific footwork, so if she can get around, she's got the size on Rory Harmon, but the farther away from the basket they are, Rory's going to continue to be a problem for her defensively.
Here's Carlton. Backing into Knox. Carlton can't flip it in. Koval secures another rebound. Malaysia Flau'jae in off the bench for LSU. The transfer from South Carolina, a national champion her freshman year. Flau'jae has it taken away. Lee on the deflection. That's already 4 LSU turnovers. And a foul on Knox. A timeout. And a season ago. No doubt tracking to be a first-team All-American again this year. And again, a great play to give her a good look. Just couldn't hit that one. Flau'jae racing in. Couldn't flip it home. Rebound out of bounds. Last hit Texas. Let's check in with Holly Rowe.
Well, those first 4 turnovers for LSU, they're just not running any offense. Kim Mulkey was upset in that last timeout. Too much one-on-one basketball. You're not working as a team. You're not helping each other get open. She wants a little more team basketball right now on offense.
That's one of the things she's talked about all season long for her team. They have success when they share the ball, switch sides of the floor.
Said she had that conversation with Michaela Williams and Flau'jae Johnson at the beginning of the year. Again, Harmon frustrating Williams. She said to them, you guys could get 20 shots up a game, but your unselfish play is what's going to help us win. And she feels like as a group they have been very unselfish this season. You know, talking to Kim earlier in the year and now as well, she really likes this group. She has been effusive in her praise of the team dynamics they have, the depth they have, and the potential they have as a group.
Yeah, when we were talking to her after shoot-around this morning about how much she likes the group, and you know, this team is still very much in the hunt for an SEC championship, and she said, but if we lose tonight, I'm still really going to like the group.
12 100-point games, an SEC record. The all-time Division I record is 15. 7 players averaging 10 or more points. The first team to have 7 players do that since at least the 99-2000 season. And a whistle here. First place in the SEC is on the line in our ABC Sunday women's basketball matchup. Joyce Edwards and 3rd-ranked South Carolina square off against 19th-ranked Tennessee. Coverage begins at 3 Eastern. Hear the ovation for Kyla Oldacre as Cunningham just picked up her 2nd foul.
I love every time Kyla Oldacre comes into the game off of the bench here at Moody Center, you hear that from the crowd. They totally appreciate what she brings to the floor.
Johnson can't hit. Another chance for Flau'jae, and that one does drop. For Flau'jae Johnson had missed her first 3 field goal attempts.
One of the things Texas likes to do when Oldacre comes into the game is get her the basketball on the block.
I was telling Vic Schaefer was emphasizing to us earlier today at shoot-around. Harmon, sure. Rory Harmon with her 3rd mid-range bucket of this first.
Texas does such a good job navigating the screens on the baseline.
Johnson connects on a three for Wiley's speed, setting up the opportunity. Both teams 6 of 12 from the floor in the early going. For Wiley picks the pocket. Malaysia euros and lays.
That's where Malaysia for Wiley just can wreak havoc. Her ability to get those steals, to pressure up defensively, and turn her defense into easy offense.
A 9-2 LSU run for Wiley, third in Division I in fast break points. Harmon can't finish. Carlton gobbles up the rebound and is tied up. Possession arrow belongs with Texas.
Just watch Malaysia for Wiley right up into Rory Harmon, who's typically a very good ball handler, and then for Wiley turning the defense to offense. Nice step through and finish.
Now we told you she's third. We like to tell you 1 and 2 in fast break points when we give you third. Number 1 is Hannah Hidalgo. Number 2, Kanaya Latson. Lee gets held up, and this time the possession arrow belongs to LSU. Good defense there from the Tigers as Aaliyah Crump will check in for Texas. She missed a huge part of this season with a foot injury, but she is a game changer for Texas. Gives them another big-time threat on the perimeter, key for a team that does not make many threes. This 4 a game, which is 334th in D1. Richard, too much on it. And a whistle is going to keep things here. There's a personal on Oldacre. That's always something Vic Schaefer watches closely. The foul trouble for Kyla Oldacre.
She can be so dominant on the offensive end of the floor when she is in the game. And here, just that right arm holding off Joyner as she's trying to go get the board. A good call.
Dee shaking her head, saying good call. We have Dee Kantner, our rules analyst, with us. Been just a wonderful addition to our broadcast. Flau'jae leaves it short. Johnson underneath. Joyner will lay it in. Amaya Joyner with the finish. LSU on an 11-2 run. Harmon giving it up. Crump a 3. Will not count. Whistle before that. Will go against LSU. Foul on Joyner. The senior transfer from East Carolina.
Screen the screener look from Texas. We saw a heavy dose of that in their last game against Oklahoma when we were here. That time it's for Crump to get a good look at the 3.
By the way, what do you think of Kim's denim flower looks tonight?
I mean, if anyone's going to be wearing a denim flower in this game, I wish it was Vic. but she does look terrific as always. Booker
gets fouled on the mid-range. Always fun to see what Kim's going to wear. A little denim here in Texas. As Booker will go to the line. Booker. He's in. All right, time now for the Aflac trivia question. LSU and Texas both have 2 SEC losses entering tonight. Only one team in SEC history has won the regular season title with 3 or more conference losses. Who was it? That pass out of bounds. And it's going to be Texas basketball, 6 turnovers for LSU. Now, I believe the last team to win a conference title overall after losing their first 2 was Baylor a few years ago, I believe. But their SEC team with 3 losses.
I'm going to guess Tennessee.
All right.
But it's...
Fair guess?
Yeah.
We'll find out the answer next whistle. Here's Crump. She can drive it as well. Crump unable to bank it home. Rebound Karams out to LSU. Here comes Flau'jae Johnson. Johnson weaving, tossing, no, and Oldacre able to grip that rebound. Texas's offense has gone cold. Booker trying to change that. Finds some space, can't hit. And the rebound taken in by Zakiya Johnson, the freshman. The number 10 recruit according to ESPN. Crump, the number 5. Williams tosses it out of bounds. All right, let's answer the Aflac trivia question. Yeah, all right. LSU and Texas, 2 SEC losses entering tonight. Only one team in conference history for the SEC has won the regular season with 3 or more conference losses. Who was it? It was... Rebecca's guess is Tennessee. Ooh, Kentucky.
Okay.
Back in 2012. Answer with the hashtag Aflac Trivia. Joyner kicks it out. Richard. Will pull. Can't hit. Loose ball. Bodies hit the floor and a tie up. Texas with the possession arrow as both offenses have gone cold after the hot starts.
But how about Sakiah Johnson? She got the last 2 defensive rebounds for LSU on the other end of the floor. There she's diving on the floor for the loose ball. The freshman has brought so much energy and productivity to LSU this season.
Wiley back in. Richard will check out. Texas started this quarter 5 of 6 from the floor. They are just 1 of 9 since. Preston bodying into full Wiley. Shot clock is off. Full Wiley pressuring Preston. Full Wiley up into Preston. 6 to shoot. Preston needs help. 3 seconds left in the quarter. Booker will get it off. Just got it on the rim. On her remarkable impact on this game. Entertaining first quarter. LSU, 7 different players scored. Texas, they're 4th in Division I in paint points. They didn't have a single point in the paint in that first quarter as LSU turns it over on their first possession of the second. That's already 7 LSU turnovers. You know Vic Schaefer's not going to be happy with the lack of scoring in the paint because that was one of his points of emphasis for this matchup tonight. Feeling like they did not establish themselves offensively on the interior in the first matchup, and now Texas turns it over.
Back-to-back illegal screens.
Just what everybody came for.
That's exactly.
For Wiley, finds some space, blew the bunny. Oldacre gobbles up the rebound. Preston has Crump on the wing, didn't see her, does see Judd. She can't finish the layup. Crump, little floater is good. Aaliyah Crump was hopping up and down on the left wing wanting the basketball, and Preston just never saw her. Williams can't hit the 3. Crump flags it down. That was Texas's first field goal in over 4.5 minutes. Booker hit her first 3 shots. Has missed her last 5. Preston fading away, no. Good job on the glass by Amaya Joyner to keep that away from Oldacre. Johnson leaves it. Beautiful pass to Joyner for the finish.
Flau'jae Johnson has made some really nice passes here in the first half.
Preston finds Judd. Nice look there from Brianna Preston, who did a really nice job in the fourth quarter of the first meeting between these teams. You know, all the focus was on Rory Harmon being on the bench, but Preston did a much better job running their offense in that game.
And we saw in the first half of that game her doing what we just saw there and turning the corner and making things happen offensively.
Helped lead them to 26 fourth quarter points. Booker, great look. Judd had more time than she realized. Ashton Judd has missed 2 layups in the last 3 possessions. Johnson can't finish it, gets it back again, and Oldacre is called for her second personal.
SEC story, the Fighting Tiger, the story of Dee Bro, who led LSU with a coaching career that spanned over 4 decades, changing the landscape for women's gymnastics and fighting for equality. That debuts Friday the 13th at 10:30 p.m. And I can tell you, Kim Mulkey would not be the head coach at LSU if it was not for Dee Bro, who fought for her. Dee, one of a kind. That's me and her in her closet checking out all the Tiger prints.
Love that, Hal, looking terrific. Meanwhile, let's take another look at that second foul.
Live, this looked like a clean block.
Oh, looks like a clean block on replay,
yes,
too. D,
absolutely.
Gander, our rules analyst, what do you think?
I don't think you need my help.
Yeah, okay. Got you.
I
love
agree
it.
with you.
All
Good
right.
block.
Thank you, D. So, I mean, and that is That's a critical miss because you already have 2 on Cunningham. Now you have 2 on Oldacre as well.
And even though Oldacre's staying in the game, it completely changes how you play as a post player. Not only are you more reluctant to go for block shots, you're going to be easier posting up, trying not to create as much contact.
Booker. Preston looking to enter. Crump fakes the 3, looking for help. 8 to shoot. Preston draws 2. Crump a 3 is good. You don't want to help off Aaliyah Crump if you're LSU.
She just changes things on the offensive end for Texas. Provides more spacing, a terrific three-point shooter.
Williams with the answer.
Much better look from 3 that time. The ball changed sides of the floor. More players touched it. Williams was open versus some of the threes we've seen them take in transition here in this quarter.
Here's Lee into Oldacre. Lee back to Oldacre. Bodying in, little hook shot, won't go. Oldacre had 16 and 16 in the first meeting between these teams. Richard. Off to Williams, fakes, takes, and hits. Michaela Williams with back-to-back 3s. She shot it at least 50% from the floor in 3 straight games for the first time in her career. Here's Crump. Guarded by Knox, spinning, lofting, and hitting. Aaliyah Crump showing you why Vic Schaefer says she is going to be special.
And right now, this is the small lineup for Texas.
Becca, I know one big thing that stood out to you about Michaela Williams going off the last couple of possessions.
When she's had so much success offensively, it's been without Rory Harmon on the floor. As you see Richard take the shot, I thought Rory Harmon was doing an outstanding job on Michaela Williams, not letting her touch the ball, and then when she did, making it hard. But Rory's been out of the game for a significant amount of time.
Lee connects. Jordan Lee, the other big threat from 3 on this Texas team. Here's Flau'jae into Williams, guarded by Lee. Williams got bumped, finishes plus the foul. Michaela Williams putting it all together. A chance for a 3-point play as Harmon remains on the bench.
Jordan Lee, just as Texas does a good job swinging the ball from side to side. Rory Harmon being a good teammate, cheering on the 3.
Now Harmon will check back in as Crump will check out. Preston will check out. Texas sending in Taya Sidbury as well.
Michaela Williams is such a talent. She is such a talent, and not only her scoring, she has the ability to put the ball on the deck. She has the ability to deliver it to her teammates. What did Kim Mulkey compare her early this morning? Yeah, she said she's LeBron-like in those things that she can do.
And we talked about her efficiency from the floor lately. She said it's not just that and how she's evolved. As Booker hits that mid-range, she said it's the rebounds, it's the assists, it's the all-around way she's impacting the game now. That's been the huge growth for Michaela Williams, who is part of that very talented class as Williams banks it in that is projected to be a part of the 2027 WNBA draft, where you could have her, Madison Booker, Juju Watkins, Hannah Hidalgo, amongst others. Booker creeps in, gives it up. Sidbury able to hit.
In his press conference yesterday, Vic Schaefer was talking
Booker nearly steals the inbound.
about how important Taya Sidbury can be to Texas' success going forward. Been dealing with some injuries this season, limiting her time.
Wow, nice catch from Koval. A lot of contact, no call. Williams can't hit. Oldacre the rebound. Here comes Harmon. Texas now down just 2. Booker a 3. You bet. LSU turns it over. Building is buzzing. Michaela Williams with Harmon on the court, 2 points, 2 turnovers. With her off, 11 points, no turnovers.
And what's interesting, even since Rory Harmon came back in, she has not been the one defending Michaela Williams. She has been staying on Malaysia Flau'jae.
Texas 5 for their last 5 from the floor. Crump gonna drive it. Needs some aid. Finds it in Booker. The runner won't go. Flau'jae Johnson gets bumped. And foul will be on Sidbury. Her first. 3:01 to go in this second quarter. Texas a 32-31 lead on LSU. 13th meeting all time between these schools. Texas a 7-5 career advantage. LSU 0-3 all time against Texas in Austin. Just the third time that these schools have met, with each of them in the AP top 5. Williams having a huge second. Richard on the drive, couldn't bank it in with the left hand. The putback is good. Zakiya Johnson again on the glass.
So incredibly active and has a great nose for the basketball.
She has 6 rebounds already in this first half. Harmon off to Crump. Crump turns and hits. Crump is a big guard, and you can see the way her size helps her. 9 points for Crump. Flau'jae blasting to the bucket.
Flau'jae, a speedy guard, and you can see how her speed helps her. She can turn the corner on just about anybody.
Almost sounds like we had the cadence of a children's novel. Here's Sidbury. You can see how her touch helps her. Back and forth they go. How fun is this? 36-35 Texas. Harmon on the steal. Booker the flick ahead. Sidbury the finish. And Rory Harmon is now the all-time steals leader, tying the mark in Texas history. It's Harmon and Linda Wagner. 1 to pass, Linda, for Rory Harmon. 3 to shoot. Joyner. No. Crump with a lane to the rim. Plus the foul.
Aaliyah Crump is begging for the outlet. You see her there on the right side of the screen. Booker gives it to her. She puts on the Jets, 2 dribbles, finishes with the contact. She wanted that basketball as soon as she saw Booker corral it, and Rory Harmon feeling good about the way her team is playing right now.
We asked Kim Mulkey how much of a game changer Aaliyah Crump was for Texas, and she said, oh, big time. She makes a huge difference. So the way she is on the perimeter, her size as a guard, you have to guard her. And that's something Texas just doesn't have a lot of on the perimeter. So for their team in particular, massive. Flau'jae can't finish. Here comes Crump. About a 5-second difference game in shot clock, and Harmon says, slow it down.
She didn't just say it. She was gesticulating with her hands, just showing her leadership. Slow down, we want 1 possession.
Booker. Lost her footing. Finds Crump. 4 to shoot. Crump on the attack. Had it stripped. Oldacre can't clean it up. 4 seconds left. And oh my, that is a costly foul on Kyla Oldacre. Picks up her 3rd with 4 seconds remaining in the half.
You can't risk it. You're 90 feet from your basket. Just turn and go the other way. You cannot risk that as an upperclassman who's already in foul trouble.
So Oldacre will check out now for the final 4 seconds. I'm sure Vic would have loved to have her on the bench about 30 seconds earlier. Joyner misses the free throw. Well, LSU has not trailed at the half yet this season. UConn, the only other team in Division I who could say that.
And it to be true.
Joyner, it's the second. Here's Booker, 2 seconds left. Booker gets it off, and Williams with the emphatic denial. Let's take a look at our first half stats brought to you by Vicks. LSU trailing at the half for the first time this season. Rory Harmon has tied the program record for career steals, and Aaliyah Crump had 11 points in 11 minutes. She's been that kind of productive since returning from injury. Booker couldn't bank that in. Ends up with the Karam's rebound, and then a quick tie-up, and it ends up LSU basketball.
But no surprise that Madison Booker is the go-to for the first play of the second half. We saw that the first 3 plays of the game were all scripted for Madison Booker.
Flau'jae gets it into Richard. Richard 1 of 7 from the floor in that first half. She's been very efficient, really this whole season, but especially in SEC play, so that is an outlier. Here's Koval, working into Cunningham, and just flipping it over the backboard. Cunningham spent a lot of time on the bench in that first half with 2 fouls. Remember, Oldacre has 3. So the 2 5s for Texas, both with some fouls worth monitoring to begin the second half. Harmon can't drop it in, Knox the rebound. Williams waits, takes, and hits.
I mean, come on. The way she navigated the on-ball screen and the hard hedge and then gets around the pump fake, gets the defender off her feet, but she continues to play the speed and the pace that she wants to play, Michaela Williams.
15 for Michaela Williams. She has had the talent, obviously had the talent from jump. It just feels like she is really blossoming here in her junior season.
Certainly.
And that is going to be a blocking foul on Booker. As Booker at the deck.
Ooh, I thought she was there.
It'll be just her first. Let's see.
Oh, she's there.
Yeah, but does she need to allow for some space? Let's check in with D. What do you think, D?
I think she didn't give her enough space. You need a moving opponent 2 good strides before contact. That looks tight. I agree with the blocking foul.
But like little people strides or like normal sized people strides?
2 strides.
Flau'jae Johnson hits the jumper, and this game is tied at 40.
By little people, I mean like Holly Rowe, 5'4" to
Right.
5'9".
Carlton gets the blocking foul call and a chance for 3.
We've seen Justice Carlton be impactful in this game in the screens that she has set to get other people open, and that time just being aggressive, attacking the basket. One of the things they were working on, Texas was this morning in shoot-around.
Number 2 on Richard. This game has had 6 ties, 7 lead changes. Neither team is led by more than 6 at any point. A tightly played game thus far in Austin. Here's Richard, a sophomore, looking to drive it, commits to the air, finds Johnson, around and off on her 3. Cunningham the rebound. Flau'jae shooting 43% on 3s this season. Carlton gets whacked. And free throws for Justice Carlton.
Justice Carlton just making life difficult on Grace Knox by sprinting the floor. Gets rewarded with the pass and then the opportunity at the stripe.
Well, you talked about Justice Carlton and her business, Jay's Rollin' in Dough. She's had over 300 orders since the last game. She got a huge order from Texas football, which is awesome. But the thing that I love about her is she's a multi-interested young lady. She has a lot of different interests. And I also met her pet chameleon, Kermit, that is at her house when we went to do the story. So I love it that Kermit the chameleon also has his own habitat.
Yeah, you connected with Kermit, it seems, Solly. Very nice.
I feel close to him.
The Muppets were back last night.
Yes.
I can't wait to rewatch.
Yes, me too. Here's Knox, spinning, denied. Cunningham there, and it last hit Cunningham. Stays with LSU. LSU, the winners in the first meeting between these teams, back on January 11th. Richard, around the hedge, finds Koval, able to slip it in.
That was a great pass by Richard, coming off of the on-ball screen to see the roller, deliver it to her.
It's the second field goal of the game for Kate Koval. A transfer from Notre Dame. Carlton takes the handoff. Now to Booker. Dump it in. Cunningham, center of the lane, denied by Koval. Here's Johnson. Dashing, dishing, and that is going to be a foul. And this time, it's a charge on Flau'jae Johnson. All right, D, what do you think on this one?
Pass and crash. Correct call. Offensive foul.
Pass and crash?
That's what we call it. Referee lingo for you there, Rebecca.
I like it.
Will you fix D's mic a little? It's drooping down under her chin. What happened at halftime, D?
It just keeps doing that. That's why I'm holding it.
I'll let her fix her own droop.
Well, that's nothing I haven't done for you before. Here's Williams. Lost it. And they're going to call a held ball, and it's going to be Texas possession.
Rory Harmon just with
and
the
now, what is Gina Cross saying? She's saying inadvertent whistle.
With the active hands by Rory Harmon to disrupt that play by Williams.
Yeah, and Gina's saying inadvertent whistle, not a held ball. D, probably should have just been a play on. Inadvertent whistle is right.
That is correct. And it's Jenna. Her name is Jenna, and it was an inadvertent whistle, and that's what she just explained very quickly.
Yeah.
Thanks for holding the mic, Rebecca.
You got it.
Here's Lee. Harmon working behind Carlton. Now Cunningham sets the screen. Harmon trying to leave it for Cunningham. Flau'jae Johnson on the steal. Richard is fouled. And if that is Cunningham, that is her third. So 3 on Cunningham, 3 on Oldacre. Texas's 2 bigs.
Anytime you're the 5 player and big with size and your job is to hard hedge on those on-ball screens, you just have to be really intentional to move your feet and keep your hands out of there because you don't want to pick up as a big a foul that far from the basket.
Williams looked like she might have gotten yanked by Harmon. No call. And wow. Being called tightly here as Knox picks up the personal, jockeying with Carlton, and Knox is frustrated as she picks up her third.
She's just saying to the official, then call it on the other end because there certainly has been a lot of physicality both ways. Smart for Coach Mulkey to get Knox out of the game. Let her settle down a little bit.
Kaya Johnson, Amaya Joyner will check in. Koval and Knox, Joyner and Johnson. A really strong 4-big rotation for Kim Mulkey. Here's Carlton busting ahead and banking it in.
What a take and using her strength that time by Justice Carlton.
7 points in the third for Carlton. She did not score in the first half. Williams connects. And LSU will take a timeout. 2-point game. We have 2 of the most entertaining coaches. The night caps off with number 8 Houston taking on number 16 BYU. Fun slate Saturday on ESPN. Midway through the third, Texas a 2-point lead on LSU. Number 4 Longhorns, number 5 Tigers. Second meeting of the season, LSU took the first, January 11th. Here's Lee, Turning the corner, got blocked by Johnson. Last hit Cunningham. And it will be LSU in Texas history earlier this season. Not bad for a young woman who was the Gatorade Texas High School Player of the Year before coming to the Longhorns. Wiley in for LSU.
Trying to get the ball to Michaela Williams, and Rory Harmon was preventing it until getting over mid-court. That's the work she's doing defensively.
Johnson. Flau'jae dribbles it off her leg. Gets it back, 3 to shoot. Again, just has to chuck it up, nearly got it to drop.
And LSU had to start their offense so late because of the work that Rory Harmon did early.
Booker speeds in, couldn't finish. Cunningham can. Cunningham, her first field goal of the night. Here's Wiley. She was a difference maker in the first half when she came in off the bench. Wiley short on that 3.
It's a possession where you'd like to see her navigate that on-ball screen and see if you can get a better look.
Carlton, 3 LSU subs go to the scorer's table. Koval, Knox, and Richard. Booker, pull-up jumper, is good. Texas with its largest lead of the night. Great denial, good feed from Wiley, and the finish from Zakiya Johnson.
A nice end to a completely disjointed possession that time from LSU.
Zakiya Johnson has made an impact in her minutes off the bench. Harmon gets bumped by Wiley.
I mean, Madison Booker, Williams takes the bait on the fake and knows the defender's there. I mean, Booker just gets to her spot with that high release and her ability to elevate. It just makes it look easy over any size defender.
Texas is in the bonus, so Harmon will go to the line. And hits the first.
There you go.
Mom and Dad applaud. And Harmon gets both. Six-point lead again for Texas. Richard to the corner. Williams had the opportunity, didn't take, now will. Can't hit, and Crump the weak side rebound. Wiley back to the bench for LSU. Here's Booker. On a nuzzle pass, Williams. Booker will pull short. Rebound, Cunningham. Put back won't go. Another board. Into the corner, Crump. Run off. Plods ahead. No. And Flau'jae comes up with a rebound. Here's Flau'jae Johnson navigating. Couldn't pop it in, but got fouled. And Flau'jae will shoot 2.
Earlier gave Justice Carlton her props for running the floor the other way. That time Grace Knox was just sprinting, running the right lane. Flau'jae Johnson chose to keep it herself, gets to the free throw line as a result.
Crump's first foul. And we were asking Kim Mulkey about Flau'jae's season at shoot-around today, and she said she's just been so unselfish this season. She's happy, maybe the happiest I've ever seen her. She's got nothing to prove. She said she knows she's going to be a first-round pick. She is. Said she's got a ring. So said, what do you want? Another ring. Said, well, this is how we're going to get you there, by playing unselfish. And she has, and has really enjoyed the journey thus far, according to Kim.
Well, Ryan, not only that, but Flau'jae's taken a real leadership role. She, Michaela Williams, a couple other players are doing self-led film sessions. They did it for 2 hours today with one of the assistant coaches, Joe Schwartz, and he was telling me they come to me and say, we want to watch more film by ourselves. We hear other coaches' voice in our head all the time. We want our own voice, so when we're on the floor, we know how to fix things with each other. I think that's really cool, led by Flau'jae.
Yeah, really good stuff, Ollie. 1:25 to go in the third. Richard directing traffic, hounded by Harmon. Carlton up on Williams, 8 to shoot. Williams gets space, feeds Kobo, look at Harmon coming up with the steal.
Rory Harmon trying to call a timeout before the official could call for the tie-up.
And we're going to see if they give her the steal. Texas owning the possession now, and now Rory Harmon officially is the all-time steals leader in Texas Longhorns history. And what a way to clinch that mark.
Just heart and hustle and effort, and then watch the smile at the end as she's looking at the officials, her parents thrilled.
There we go. Now that's the way to steal the ball right there.
That's the way to steal the ball, Rodney says. He is right. Lee, a three. No. Follows it up. What an astute tip there over to Harmon. Crump. Spinning on Johnson. Finds the cutter, Sidbury. Gave Texas good minutes in the first half. Crump buries the three. Johnson banks it in, plus the foul. Zakiya Johnson, the freshman. And Aaliyah Crump, the freshman, going back and forth.
I mean, how about Aaliyah Crump? 6'1" guard who has been so good since returning from injury in terms of her efficiency. For this Texas team to really make a run to a national championship, I think this young woman is going to be integral, because when they go with their smaller lineup with her at the 4 or with her at the 3, she just adds that added dimension of a three-point shooter, can score at every level.
52 points, 69 minutes. Oh, Flau'jae sneaks in for the rebound and the putback. By the way, that last foul was called on Cunningham. That is her 4th. Oldacre now in. She has 3. These are Oldacre's first minutes of the third quarter. Shot clock is turned off. Flau'jae pressuring Harmon. Oh, and Flau'jae fouls Harmon. LSU did not have one to give, and Kim Mulkey is not pleased with the foul there from Flau'jae.
You want your players to dig in and defend smartly, but especially because Texas is in the bonus, you do not want to foul there.
Puts Harmon at the line. Well, I don't believe they've announced in the building yet Harmon as the all-time steals leader in program history. You'd imagine they will at some point soon, and she'll get a terrific ovation from what has been an awesome crowd tonight at Moody Center. Harmon misses the second. Big time rebound from Flau'jae. 3 seconds left. Flau'jae lost the handle. Chucks it up. And that'll do it for the third. Texas takes a 4-point lead into the fourth quarter. Rory Harmon, another program record history. An all-time great, trying to help Texas get back to the Final Four last year, their first trip since 2003. Johnson gets denied by Sidbury. You said it before, Rebecca. Dick Schaefer has told us, hey, Taya Sidbury's going to play a big role for us this season. She has tonight in this matchup against LSU.
Yeah, certainly. And we saw it in the first half on the offensive end. We're seeing it here on the defensive end as well.
Harmon, a big bounce back after her struggles against LSU in the first meeting. And another steal from Harmon, who's fouled immediately by Flau'jae.
Saves the bucket because Joyner is open on this out-of-bounds play, and Harmon just reads Flau'jae's eyes and goes up and snatches the ball.
Yeah, big smile from Rory Harmon. She has made such an impact on winning tonight.
It's fun to watch joy-filled players that are just enjoying every second that they're on the floor. And for her, we see it mostly on the defensive end of the floor, which is a little bit unique.
The year she was out with the torn ACL, Dick Schaefer would just rave about her impact on the bench as a coach. Called her Coach Harmon. Booker off the curl. Might have gotten partially blocked by Williams and out of bounds. Last hit, Sidbury. Good pursuit by Richard. LSU basketball. Michaela Williams is 7 of 11 from the floor. Almost everyone else, especially the guards, have struggled. Flau'jae, 3 for 13. Richard, 1 of 7. And now Harmon, another steal. And the lay doesn't go. Harmon dealing with something in the aftermath of that. Holding on to her mouth, maybe some blood. Williams was conceding the layup as well. And Harmon just did not make it. Williams, guarded tightly by Harmon again. Flau'jae knocked away by guess who, Rory Harmon. Harmon scoops it up, gets it to Sidbury, who's fouled hard.
Rory Harmon simply wreaks havoc on the defensive end of the floor. She makes it hard to even inbound the basketball. There, pokes it free. Looks like she gets hit in the face as well on the poke. Probably the reason that she didn't make the layup.
Well, she doesn't care if she gets hit. This is what happened in her last game. She's like, all for you, Longhorn Nation. Big scratch across the face. She's continuing to hold her head right now. I think she's okay, but Rory Harmon is so tough out here. She loves to play this way. That's what gets her going, and we're seeing ever since she got that last steal, it has fed her on this end. She's continuing to try to shake something off right now, though.
Yeah, Ollie, good stuff. 5 steals for Rory Harmon. Looks like she's almost having trouble seeing. Her parents getting to see another special defensive performance from Rory. As Sidbury hits both free throws, it's a 6-point Texas lead. They've maintained a modest lead for much of this second half. Flau'jae can't get it to go. Sidbury trying to save it and is fouled by Flau'jae Johnson. That is her second.
Early in that possession, Michaela Williams was trying to post up on the right block, and Rory Harmon, who gives up a lot of inches in that matchup, was three-quarter fronting. LSU couldn't get her the ball. So she just had to clear out the other way, and then Flau'jae tried to create on her own. But we're talking about Rory Harmon defensively. It's not just what she's doing out on the perimeter, it's the post as well.
Flau'jae has struggled tonight. 3 for 14 from the floor. Here's Crump. Off to Sidbury, lob it in Oldacre. Oldacre twisting and finishing. Largest lead of the night for Texas. Sidbury last hit it. If she let it go, might have been out of bounds, but...
And that reckless pass is because Michaela Williams was being denied hard by Rory Harmon.
Well, we talked about it before. I mean, Texas this season has forced 19 5-second violations. That is 7 more than any other team in the nation.
They deny on most inbounds plays, just make it hard for you to even inbound the basketball.
We saw that in South Carolina's win against Texas, how difficult it was for them to get the ball in bounds throughout that game. Richard, guarded by Booker. Here is Williams, lob it in. Oldacre takes it away, using that wingspan. Booker zipping up the floor, the pull-up won't go. Volleyed out of bounds, and it will stay with Texas. Vic Schaefer telling his team, calm down, calm down.
This has been an incredible crowd.
Yes.
As we're looking around and, early in the fourth quarter, and there are people in the upper deck just standing the whole possession.
Vic Schaefer has talked so much about the home court advantage these fans have created over the last few seasons. Harmon looking for some space, wiggles into the paint, couldn't finish it, and it's out of bounds, stays with Texas, 1.5 of the shot clock. A first place in the SEC is on the line in our ABC Sunday.
He has had a huge impact on this game for her team.
She has 3 steals in the fourth quarter, 1.5 on the shot clock here. Harmon has to get it in, and a 5-second violation on Texas. Now remember, Rory Harmon didn't play in the fourth quarter in the last meeting against LSU, and a day she was struggling. Huge bounce back performances. Holly detailed in the open. Rory said it'll be different today. It already has.
And it's not about, for Vic Schaefer, making or missing shots. It's how is she running our team? What impact is she having on the defensive end of the floor? And she's been terrific in those both areas tonight.
Do you have any inkling as to what's happening here?
They just weren't sure about the time on the clock. The gentleman at the table was asking for that clarification.
All right, thank you, Dee. Williams, low pass, able to snare it. Oldacre almost picked up a fourth there. Harmon again up into Williams. Richard. 5 to shoot, will pull. Can't hit now, 1 of 8 from the floor. Oldacre squirts it out to Harmon. Here's Booker. Crump is 6 of 8 from the floor. Crump probably had the space to pull. Oldacre gets a deep catch. Oldacre got wrestled to the ground. And Kyla Oldacre is going to shoot a pair. ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is presented by Indeed. Your new personal career coach is here. Try Indeed Career Scout.
Vic Schaefer just called Crump over to him, and I think he was telling her, that's a shot for you to take.
Yeah. I don't think it's a stretch, Rebecca, to say Crump truly changes the possibility of Texas being a national champion.
Oh, absolutely. I completely agree with you.
As good as they've been without her, she gives them something they just desperately needed.
And Jordan Lee has been in a little bit of a shooting slump the last 4 or 5 games. When she finds her groove again and plays more minutes and is on the floor with Crump, then you have 2 wing players who you have to respect and come out and defend in the space that will also give the bigs inside. It's a game changer.
7-0 run for Texas. They have their largest lead of the night. It is 10 for Wiley. Zipping around traffic, couldn't finish it. Loose ball, Harmon after it. Flings it ahead. Crump gets it back to Harmon, and now Texas will settle things. LSU has had a real tough time scoring in this second half. Crump, 10 to shoot. Crump on the drive, able to bank it in. Tough angle, not for Crump.
And something else that she brings to the table as a big guard when Texas goes to their dribble drive.
And thrown away. Crump to steal. Booker the dish. Sidbury the finish. An 11-0 Texas run.
Just making it so hard to even inbound the basketball. Richard tosses it in. Texas just moving the ball around to get a good look. Frustration there for Kim Mulkey.
As Williams gets fouled and will go to the line.
So similar, that defensive possession for Texas to what we saw when they played South Carolina as well. Because they do not put a player on the inbounder, the offensive team is a player out of bounds trying to inbound, and you have 4 against 5. It's just a difficult thing to do.
LSU has been averaging 99 points per game, held to 53 so far tonight. LSU on pace to be the highest scoring team in the history of Division I basketball. Just put up 104 against Alabama, their first 100-point game in SEC play. Harmon, Oldacre leaking out and laying in. Texas starting to really separate. A 15-point edge. And a 12-1 fourth quarter lead.
Texas able to inbound against the full court pressure, and then Rory Harmon sees Kyla Oldacre wide open at the other end. Oldacre there, showing her hand as a target.
We know Texas's defense is extraordinarily difficult to play against, but what are you seeing from LSU right now on the offensive end with maybe a lack of organization? How do they kind of cut through right now?
I think that's been one of the keys, is that Texas's defense is so disruptive that they've sped LSU up at times. They've forced them into tough shots. They have done a really good job in the second half keeping LSU off the offensive glass.
Crump can't hit that one. Booker gets fouled. Madison Booker going to the line. I think Bob Starkey's going through a long list of issues right now with LSU in this game. And there's a lot on the line in this game. It's just very hard to win this conference if you pick up a third loss as far as the regular season title goes. Whoever loses this game is picking up a third loss. Now LSU will play South Carolina on ABC February 14th, Saturday night. A chance for them to try and give South Carolina a second loss, but someone else would have to take care of that third. And as we know, it's not an easy task when you consider the recent dominance in this conference from South Carolina. Here's Flau'jae on the drive, got hit hard by Oldacre, and Flau'jae Johnson is going to shoot two. And coming up next, it is Sports Center. Plenty to recap after the NBA trading deadline. It's a few days away from the Super Bowl, and more on tonight's big night in college hoops. I haven't seen the rundown, I'm just projecting here. I've watched enough Sports Center in my life that I'm pretty sure they'll cover all those things.
Every single one of them.
Yes.
Look at the trombone section. So in the second half of games, when the opposing team is shooting in front of the band, they send one of the sections, it's usually to the trombonists, over with their trombones trying to distract the shooter. It didn't work, but no. I still like it. It's more impactful than when you send them. Now they're going to go back to their section. But like, it doesn't have the same effect if you send the flautists or the clarinetists. So I like the choice of the trombonists.
I'm just wondering if you're identifying properly.
I don't know, but I think so.
What these instrumentalists are.
I think I am. I'm a saxophone player, right?
Here's Booker, can't get it to drop, knocks the rebound, and she's fouled. Does LSU have a run left in them? Tightly played game throughout, but Texas has completely dominated this fourth quarter. Kim Mulkey was complimenting the Texas defense to us earlier today. She said that defense is real and makes them a serious contender. LSU, no field goals the last 6.5 minutes. Richard steps through, can't get it to drop, now 1 for 10.
Hey, you asked what's been hard for LSU. That time there was one ball handler who just dribbled around because she couldn't find an open look. Nothing easy, and then throws up an off-balance shot. Credit to Texas's defense.
They've outscored LSU 14-3 in the fourth. Crump finds Sidbury. Harmon, 3 to shoot. Harmon's mid-range, no. Good box out from Knox. Only 3:15 to go, and Harmon sneaks in for another steal. Her 4th of the quarter on a record-setting night. $18 LSU turnovers. Booker can't finish. Cunningham gets fouled, and Cunningham will shoot 2.
Just incredible, the fourth quarter that we've seen from. So what's her response? Put her head down and pout? No, get in there, be disruptive. She gets the steal. The last meeting between these teams, she was benched in the fourth quarter. The next day, she told Holly Rowe that is not going to happen again. And what a turnaround here in this fourth quarter for this young woman.
6 steals tonight. Her career high is 8. Cunningham, Oldacre, both with 4 fouls. Cunningham on the floor now for Texas. LSU just can't score in this fourth. It's a team that averages almost 100 points a game.
They've gotten few, if any, really good looks at the basket.
17-point Texas lead. Trying to win a 39th straight at home. They have held LSU to 20 second-half points. Williams trying to jitter to space, gets denied, but a foul as Williams will go to the line.
And one of the other things that Texas has done so extraordinarily well is keep LSU playing in the quarter court. LSU, one of their superpowers, right, is when they can get out in transition. That's when Malaysia Flau'jae, Flau'jae Johnson can really be electric for their team, and Texas has not allowed that.
Cunningham fouls out. Williams, it's the third 20-point game this season for Michaela Williams, and she is 7 of 11 from the floor. The rest of LSU is 15 for 46. That's sub 33%. Harmon content to run some more clock. Well, Kim Mulkey has not used any timeouts during this to try and reset things for LSU. Booker lost her footing and traveled. Texas has done a much better job protecting the basketball tonight than they did January 11th against LSU. They had 17 turnovers in that game, their second highest total this season. Their highest was against South Carolina in their other loss. And tonight, only 10. Hines able to just toss it in. Bella Hines, the freshman, getting some minutes here with 1:45 to go. And again, Texas will run that clock. Five to shoot. Harmon with space. Hits! First the shake, and then the make. A complete night from the senior Rory Harmon. 11 points, 5 assists, 6 steals, and a big win. Under a minute to go. Harmon gets denied that time by Flau'jae, seeking some revenge. Rebecca, what has impressed you most tonight about the performance from Texas?
Their stifling defense, number one, and then the depth that they've had off of the bench, how everyone has been able to come in and perform. But
15-point Texas lead, 41 seconds remaining. LSU, they're averaging 99 points per game, on pace for a D1 record. Had one game earlier this year with just 61. That was their loss at Vanderbilt. LSU lost their first 2 games in conference play to Kentucky and Vanderbilt. Tight games. Tonight, more of a separation with Texas's dominant second half. You know, Vic Schaefer took that timeout when they struggled with the inbound a moment ago. As Booker hits the free throw, and look at Jenna Cross. She blows the whistle. Vic says, "Oh man, right in my ear." Oh no. Jenna says, "Sorry, Vic," and Vic eventually is going to smile about it. Got to be careful, right, D, with that whistle location.
Absolutely, nothing is loud. Most of us referees are hard of hearing by our old age because we've blown it so much in our own ears. So it is a loud whistle.
Flau'jae hits the 3. About a 4-second difference. Game and shot clock. Harmon weaving. 3 to shoot. Harmon one more. Oldacre the rebound. Harmon will dribble it out. It's been her night. It's been Texas's night. A defensively dominant